Hi, Arlette. When you have made a new username and password, go ahead and sign in, and you will add your project. So let me you'll go to new project. And I think I actually did give y'all some directions there as to what to do. On your project, let's just say, for example, that I'm doing environmentalism. Okay, environmentalism in a sound of thunder. Okay, and you do this when you set up an account, you have to start all over and do this. This is defaulted to MLA. And then on citation level, we're not in elementary school, we're not in middle school, we're in college. So you must click advanced there. Okay, so they're telling me that another one, I'm going to do that. Okay, they tell me that I've got another one of these. Okay, so once I get in here, the first thing I'm going to do is write a research question, and I'm going to write the thesis. So the research question is, how is environmentalism? Well, let me say, how is the theme of environmentalism shown in the short story, or just say Ray Bradbury's science fiction story, comma, put it in quotation marks, because it's a short story, a sound of thunder. No, it's a long story, but it's still not. Okay, and then I'm going to put the question mark there. Okay, so how is the theme of environmentalism shown in the Ray Brad? Oh, I'm going to take the E out. That's why you want to say it out loud again. In Ray Bradbury's science fiction story, A Sound of Thunder. Now we're going to turn that around and say, you could actually take his name out if you want to. Just say, well, come on. Okay. The theme of environmentalism in A Sound of Thunder is illustrated through Bradbury's use. Oop. I think I said imagery. What else did I say? I'll say personification and illusion. I can't remember exactly what they are, but all right. So this is what you need to have here. Once you open your project, you need to click up here, and it'll open a box, two boxes actually. You'll write your research question. How is the theme of environmentalism shown in Ray Bradbury's science fiction story, A Sound of Thunder? And then you'll turn that into an answer, and this will be your thesis. The theme of environmentalism in A Sound of Thunder is illustrated through Bradbury's use of imagery, personification, and illusion. Okay. And there are other ways you could put it, but you need to have those three main points. And then you also need to make the argument that there is a theme of environmentalism in there. Okay. So once you do that, that's wonderful. Okay. Now, what I told you guys is, and I actually gave this to you, you need to go ahead and put that new source in. Let me go back over and see if I can find it. I know that you're not able to see this, and that's okay. Let me go. And I think what I'll do is stop the recording for just a moment. Okay, so go to week 9, and I'll go ahead and show you this. And then you're going to have to copy and paste something from here into your Noodle tools. So I would open another window and be in your Brightspace. So let's go down. This is week 9, and that's October the 16th. I want you to click on that. Here's your audio lesson that goes with it. This one was due on the 18th, so you're done with that. This one here, this is the one that involves Noodle Tools. So I want you to click on this, and there actually is an attachment. Okay, so you're going to see that. Instructions, you're going to see all this, and then you're going to click on directions for literary analysis, and this is what you're going to get. There are two pages where I show you these are the themes. You choose one, and you choose 3 literary terms, and you're going to show through the literary terms what Bradbury used and what he did, what he said, to show you this theme throughout his story, A Sound of Thunder. Okay, the part I wanted you to go to here is number 3. You will only have one source for this paper. It will be what we call a primary source. It's going to be Ray Bradbury's story. It's not going to be someone's commentary on him. It's going to be Ray Bradbury. You're the one who's going to analyze what he did. So go to number 3, copy Ray Bradbury. Oh, goodness. Hold on. Well, let me see if this is the one. Okay. All right. So again, go to October 16th and go down to the literary analysis. I'll show you here in a minute. But this is where I want you to copy Ray Bradbury underneath number 3. I guess I did that. Okay, here's that. Okay, now I want you to go back to Noodle Tools. See if that's it. I know you can't see this right now, but I'm getting back to it. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go back here. This is the one that I just created. And I'm going to go to the stack of books. That's your new source page. Now, I already have the formatted citation in MLA 9. So I'm just going to choose magazine. It doesn't really matter because you're going to copy and paste it. So once you hit magazine or journal, whatever it is, then click on this part and it will open a box. You're going to paste that in. So I'm going to do Control V. I'm sorry, Command V. All right. And I don't need to do anything else. That is done. So again, this is the only one you're going to use on the literary analysis. Okay. All right. Now we're ready to go to your note cards. And remember, I told you that you needed to do 5 cards. So let's do this. Let's do a new note card. And until I can figure out, how to do. I think this is pretty much the only way you could do. I remember one of mine is imagery, so I'm gonna put imagery 1. My source is on a drop down. It's Ray Bradbury. I'm not really ready to go into this yet. I'm just setting up the card, and this is why. Save and close. All right, so now I'm going to go back. There's imagery. Now I'm going to have a pile that's called imagery. So I have to have a card first. So click on that little box and say enter pile name. Well, these will be my imagery cards. I'll create that, and immediately that first card I made, if I click on this, there it is. It's underneath it. But if I don't want to show my card, I will do that. Okay, I'm going to put imagery. Now let's do another one. Let's add a new note card. And I believe allusion was the last one, I think, but I can't remember. Allusion. And that'll be my first card. Select my source. It will be Ray Bradbury. And I will go to save and close. And then go back to my note cards. Okay, so see, now I have allusion. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to make a pile, and I'm going to call it enter pile name. I'm sorry. I'm going to say allusion. I'm going to create and add to allusions. So now it has one card. Now, given, I mean, I'm just going to grant to you that I have not filled out the cards. So, but that's easy enough to check. So if I go like this, it reveals the cards underneath. If I go like this, it just makes it one pile. The other one, imagery, allusion, and what's really cool about this, if I forget, I can look. Imagery, personification, and illusion. Okay, so I might put this little guy last. Okay, so I'm going to do a personification. So we're going to go to new note card. And what's the main idea? Personification 1. This will be my first example from the story. And then the next would be the second. I'm going to click on select source, which is this. And that looks like it's good. So I'm going to save and close that. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my notes, and there's my personification card with my first example, but I'm going to add a pile, and I'm going to call it personification. Need to spell it right. Okay, so now I've created that one. And that other card, if I choose to see it, is underneath it, but you'll have several under there. I think 3 is what you're going to have under that doesn't count the pile one. Okay, so we've got this one, and then I think illusions. But this isn't all. We also need to do an introduction and conclusion. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a new note card, and I'm going to introduction 1. That'll be my first sentence. Actually, I would make it 3 sentences. I'm not one for long introductions. Okay, go to select source. Select Bradbury. This is what I want to say right here. I am going to write something on it. Start with a quote about, in mind, environmentalism. So I might go to Google or something like that. Then I'll put the quote in my own words, and then I'll say what that means. But go ahead and do that, and then let's save and close that one. Okay, perfect, because it's up here. I'm kind of keeping it in order. So the pile is introduction. Going to make a pile, and I'm going to do the piles in all caps. Okay, and then I'm going to add this first card to it. So if you notice that when I click on it, I'm going to have to go in and fill all this in. But if I want to see that, that's a little note I made to myself. Okay, so what do we do next? Well, we don't want to go to that. Go back over here, make one more card, and that would be the conclusion. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say this is the conclusion one, and we always start our conclusion with a restatement of the thesis, which is the very last sentence in the introduction. So click on source, click on Bradbury, and I'll just make a little reminder here. Restate, that means that this actually means don't put it in the same words as it is in the introduction. Okay, so I'm going to save and close that. Then I'm going to go back over here and create a pile that says conclusion. Let me move this down. Okay, so I'm going to go here. Boop, add a pile, enter a pile name, conclusion. Okay, then click on this, create and add. Okay, so we've got, and there's that first sentence. So you should have 5 piles. Then from that, you go back into the story and you get examples. You'll start with a quote, you'll put it in your own words, and then you'll put the so what. Okay, so what? The dinosaur in the imagery part, he had like little green insects on him that made him look shiny, kind of like glitter. Why is that important? Well, I think it's really interesting because he takes something that's kind of not dangerous and something that's actually very pretty and turns this monster into this color. So that kind of tells you about how he uses imagery and he uses it so smoothly that you don't even realize what he's doing, that he's talking to you about a very ugly monster that actually is shimmery and like emeralds. And actually it's the bugs that are doing it. So that's kind of gross. So that's what I wanted you to do there. So let me know once you get in, once you've done that. Well, actually, I'm going to check tonight, so it's not really going to make any difference. I'll make sure you did it right, but that's how you do it. And I think you owe me an assignment from yesterday that should be handwritten. I haven't checked today to see if you turned it in, but don't forget to do that either. Thanks, Arlette. Bye-bye. Sorry.